Hi, welcome to my studio. I'm Tina Hewitt. I'm Stampin' Up demonstrator in Adelaide, Australia. And this video is all about our really nice stamp set called Enduring Beauty. Just let me grab this over here. So I'll just hold this up to this camera here. Now, I've already done the first card, which I'll just show you. Now, we've already done video for this one. And in this video I'm going to show you how I created this one. Now this is using like a watercolor technique, and so you'll never get exactly the same results each time. You can't copy watercolor exactly because it's just the nature of it. So that's the second one, and then in the third video in this series we'll make this one. I'll show you how to do that. So let's get started. This is all part of a class. I've got my little bits and pieces here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm actually not going to do the watercolouring straight away. I'm not sure if you can see this. I have got a embossing folder on the background of this card, and so that is our painted texture 3D embossing folder. It is a fantastic folder, and you can use it for lots and lots of different images. It's very versatile, and so this is a 3D one, and so that means it's thicker than the standard ones and you get great texture in it. So I'll bring in my machine here. Might just zoom out a little bit for this bit. Bring in my machine, and the platform that you'll need is the basic number 1. That's the bottom one. Because the 3D one, you'll only need to put number 4 on the top. So put my white panel inside the folder, and we always put, with these embossing folders, always put it in with the seam going through first. Now, if you're using different materials like vellum or different thicknesses of paper, if you ever get any cracking, this one's pretty good, then you might like to just gently spritz the paper with a bit of water. So just put very light spray of water, and then that will soften the fibres of the paper, and it will mould into the shape of the folder more easily and won't crack. This one I haven't had any problems with, so it gives a really lovely texture. So I've got that for the background, and I'll just put my machine aside for the moment. Bring that in again to do some die cutting. So now I've got the background, and that just goes onto the card front. Now I'll do the watercolouring. So before I do watercolouring, I'm going to stamp this in Versamark, and I'm going to use heat embossing to create the white outline. So this bit it's going to be hard to see because it's just the nature of it. So this is Versamark ink. It's clear sticky ink, and you will just give the embossing powder something to stick to. Embossing powder will stick to water as well. I've done that. Now before I stamp it onto my paper, I'm going to grab my embossing buddy. I've had this for over 20 years. It's getting a little bit thin now, but there's plenty of powder in. These last forever. You'll never need to buy another one. Not unless you're doing thousands of cards all the time. Anyway, so I need to make sure that's covered in the powder. Now I've stamped this in Versamark ink, and I'm going to just carefully put it on the block, on the the panel, And oh, I probably should have cut this a little bit wider, but hopefully this will work. Now, it's on a big block. I'm just carefully pressing fairly hard, fairly firmly on there. If you've got a stamping platform, that will work as well, and you'll be able to get a clear impression onto your paper. Now this is watercolor paper that I'm using. This is the Stampin' Up watercolor paper. It has a fine texture to it, so you just got to give it a few seconds for the ink to go into the paper. This is the clear ink, and hopefully that's. Oh, it's going to be very hard for me to see. I'll only be able to see it once I do pour embossing powder on it. So if I put my basic embossing powder in a container, you can just use it in the jar that it comes in and then pour it back into the jar. I find this easier for me to do. I'm just going to pour this on here all over to make sure I've got it all. Got embossing powder on all the image. And I just flick it off. And that's pretty good. Oh, I've got a little bit of a tip of a leaf that hasn't got powder on. Just like that. Oh, yeah, that's fine. I can see that now. And that's pretty good. So, now, I've got any powder on here. Maybe I'll just brush that off. Now, I'm going to use my heat tool to heat this up. So, sorry for the noise, but that's the way it is. Right, okay, I can just see in the light that it's a little bit shiny. Oh, this bit might need a little bit more. Right, okay, that's the heat embossing done. The main thing to remember with a heat tool when you're melting the embossing powder is not just to wave it like that. That doesn't really help. You have to just work in one section and look at when it starts melting, going shiny, and then gradually move around the panel. So, okay, now I'll just zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here. So, to do my painting, I've got a palette that comes with this glass mat. And I've got re-inkers. So, let's see which way I'm going to put this, like that way. Yeah, I might bring in a light, but I'll just see how I go here. You need really good light to see this. Right. Okay, so I've got 4 colours and I've got my aqua painter. Now so I'm going to do the leaves in the green, parakeet party. I'll put a little drop ink there. Now the main colour I'm using for the flowers is Highland Heather. And gorgeous grape just for a little bit. Don't need much of that one because that's quite dark and strong colour. And then boho blue little bit around the edge. Okay, so what we're going to do is, yeah, might just bring in another light. So, no. Okay, so I've got my water painter and I've got this water in it, and so I'm just going to do the leaves first. So just going to pick up some colour there, and I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of water out just so I can get, there we go, that's quite a bit of water. Probably don't need quite that much, but okay, so I don't want it too dark. So I'll just do leaves. This one's a bit dark. That's okay. Now what happens with the embossing will not take on the paint, the watercolour. Yeah, so you can use that to work out your outline. So now, so this will take me a few minutes. So this might be a good time to fast forward, or if you just want to watch me paint or colour in, then feel free to do that. But I will probably fast forward this bit. Okay, I think I've done all the leaves and the stalks. Right, now to change the colour of your brush, I'm just going to wipe it on here. I do have a cloth that I use sometimes, but this will just squeezing the water out. Get the ink out of it. I'll just go on a cloth here. Get as much out of it as I can. Yep. I think that's about right. Yep, that's not great. Right now. Now the next colour I'm going to do is the purple. So, I don't want it too dark, but I want some colour in it. Okay, which start with this one first. Now if it's too pale, this is probably a bit too pale, I'll just step it in, pick up a bit more colour. We'll do another layer on top. That's another way of doing it. So that's it. Paint in the petals. Okay, let's have a look at that. Now doing those, I found the bits that I missed in the first with the green. So, but I'll do that in a minute because now I just want to change to the darker purple. I don't need to really wipe it, this colour off. This is the really dark purple. I just want to pick up a little bit of that. That is gorgeous grape. So I'm just doing these little buds here. And then I'll switch back to the green. So I missed a couple of stalks. This won't take long. That one. And let's do this one here. Okay. That I've got a little bit of light purple to do. I'll just pick that back up. Just miss a little bit in a leaf. You can always go back. Not a leaf, a petal. There's a petal bit there. Looking at the edge of the petal. That's the leaf. That's the petal. Okay, I think that's about that. Oh, no, I've got one more dark. But to do, that's this one up here. Would you believe it's another technical glitch? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, which is part 2 in my class featuring the Enduring Beauty Bundle. Okay, the next video is part 3, and that's using the stencils, and I hope to see you in that one very soon. And all the links with the instructions, with all the measurements and list of supplies, will be in the description box below. Okay, bye for now.